Welcome to the Bluegrass Sports Network. I'm Bo Craycraft. I'm joined tonight by Brad Thomas. We're at Western Hills High School. Huge matchup between two District 41 boys soccer teams, Western Hills, Frankfort High. As you can hear, they got the music pumping.
Lots of cowbell going right now.
It's going to be a great night. Beautiful weather. Western Hills started off 4-0.
4-0.
Last year they only had 3 wins, so a lot of positive momentum going here.
Right. You know, this is going to be a game of undefeated teams, and when we look at this matchup, what I think is going to be the key is who comes out fast, who's going to come out with that first goal, and I think that's going to dictate the play.
I looked on KHSA today. The last 3 out of the last 4 have been 1-goal games, so these things have always been tight. Frankfort High played Franklin County on Thursday night, and they had their 7th straight 1-goal game. So it doesn't really matter, like, records or what we think ages of the players are always close. Let's take a quick break, and then Brad and I will jump back in. We'll highlight a few of the key players to keep an eye on. We're glad you're here. We're glad you're on the Bluegrass Sports Network. We'll be right back.
Accounting and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
We're back at Western Hills High School. I'm Bo Craycraft, joined with Brad Thomas. We're about 5 minutes away from kickoff. Brad, we got a few minutes here while the coaches make their final comments. You want to highlight a couple of the key players for Western Hills maybe to keep our eye on tonight?
Well, I think it's going to be the key for this game for Western Hills is going to be defense. And I think when you start looking at how Western Hills has played all season, the defense starts and stops with number 23, Lincoln Maddox. He has been a beast on the defensive end. The second player to watch is going to be Jack Haldwell, who's going to be in that holding midfielder spot. Both of those players are very physical, and I expect to see them impacting the game just by keeping the ball off of some of the star players you're going to see for Frankfort.
This is our second time seeing Western Hills. They got 15 seniors. A lot of them play, so a lot of experience. Wade Sutley plays up top, Raphael Fricker in the middle. So a lot of options here for Coach Chad Mangum. When we turn our attention over to Frankfort High, you can see the first 11 jumping out. You know, Ethan Vermillion, number 11, is a key player for the Panthers, but I wanted to highlight number 22, Ty Hancock. He's a sophomore. He plays that defensive mid role, but he had the game-winning assist the other night. So
a headsy play on that assist.
Oh, it was a tremendous ball. So we're going to take a little pause here as we do the national anthem. All right.
Starting lineups. First for the Panthers from Frankfort.
So PA announcers going through the starting lineups for Frankfort High. Senior Sam Yoakum starts in between the pipes as goalkeeper. He's a 3-year starter. Their back four includes two seniors, Henry Higbee, number 5, Ethan Carpenter, number 17. They're complemented by a sophomore, Ashton Austin, number 10, and it looks like Lucci Lawrence Allen is also getting a start back there. He's a 3rd senior. In the midfield, they got Nathan Neal, McLean Barber, and Ty Hancock, and then in their front 3 is Adam Gritton, Ethan Vermillion, and Tyron Reynolds. What about Western Hills?
You know, when we're looking at Western Hills lining up, you're going to see Casey Smith out on the left. He's going to be bringing in 2 goals to this game. You're also going to see Raphael Fricker. It's going to be playing more in the center in the 10 spot for Western Hills. Wade Sutley, I think, is going to be the key to their offense. He's going to be lining up as the striker. And on that far side, over on the right wing, you're going to see Lucas Nance. Jimmy Tope is going to be holding down the midfield along with Jack Caldwell, who we mentioned earlier. We're going to see the back 4. It's going to be Craig Badger is back there, along with Stratton, along with Lincoln Maddox and Josh Lumpkins. Josh is really having a great season this year. In the past, he's been a little injury prone, so knock on wood, he's playing healthy and playing hard for Western Hills this year.
He's got a lot of speed out there, and I know he likes to get in the attack. That's something you're going to see Frankfort High. They like to get their outside backs up the field when they can. But what we found out the other night against Franklin County is that they're susceptible if you can get a quick counter, or if you can connect a couple passes and get out of that high pressure.
Well, and I think, too, you know, from the Western Hills side, that senior leadership, you've got a senior goalkeeper and Matthew Meyer. I think, once again, who strikes first is going to dictate so much in this game.
I expect the first few minutes to be a little sloppy, a lot of adrenaline pumping. This is a big game. Like I said, they've always been tight, and a lot of times they've come down to some unique individual plays. I know last year it was Reed McClavic, who it's hard to talk about Frankfort High without talking about Reed McClavic. 31 goals last year, 2nd team All-State.
He could have done a highlight reel just on some of his free kicks.
Oh, yeah, and he was tremendous with the left foot. He scored from run of plays, scored from free kicks. And so it's hard. You know, it's one of the question marks with Frankfort High is who's going to pick up some of that slack.
Right.
They also lost a big center back in Delano Craig.
Yes.
So both at the top and the back, they've got some holes. And so far they've held up pretty well, but Franklin County was a tough matchup, and I expect this to be the toughest yet.
Yeah, I think this is going to be a carbon copy of that game you saw with Franklin County and Frankfort. This is going to be a struggle. Both teams are going to come out, I think, sloppy, as we said earlier, but I also think they're going to be kind of passive, kind of feeling each other out, kind of like a heavyweight battle here.
You can see Raphael Fricker and Ethan Vermillion there right above the 50, just giving each other a fist bump. One of the interesting things, too, is a lot of these guys play club together.
That's right. You know, and there's always that pickup game that you're seeing in Frankfort pop up with a lot of these players. So they know each other. Both teams are not going to see anything that they don't expect, but that's what's going to make this district game so exciting today.
Western Hills took that kickoff and just tried to take a quick flyer at goal, and it was just wide.
Well, it's Jack Caldwell, who also kicks for the football team, so, you know, it's one of those things.
You know, Reed McClavic did that a lot the last couple of years, and here we see early press from Western Hills and an early turnover. Let's see if they can put anything together here.
Western Hills been stringing along a lot of possession in their prior games, so I think we'll see a lot of that same type of play early on, where they're trying to string together some passes. Lucas Nance fighting for it there. It's going to be a goal kick for Frankfort.
Now, some of you folks that are joining us might hear a little feedback. It's quite breezy up here on top of the press box. It's a beautiful night, but a little chilly with that breeze.
As we say, this is soccer weather, Bo.
Some people would say it's football weather, but it's the wrong football they're talking about.
That's right. That's right. I said early this morning it has a European feel in the air. It's definitely starting to cool off, and Indian summer is nowhere to be found at this point. Frankfort with the goal kick.
Sam Yoakum, and this is Adam Gritton trying to get first touch. And we talked about this Thursday night at Franklin County, and I know you and I talked about it a little bit Thursday. It seems like the ball gets a little sticky on this surface sometimes, and especially early on when the boys are trying to figure out exactly, you know, their touch, the pace.
Yeah, and you know, I keep coming back to it. This has truly become a home field advantage for Western Hills. Being able to practice on this surface and being able to learn the nuances of turf.
That was Tyron Reynolds trying to play Verm through. Verm's on it. He's trying to cut it back. There's a little miscommunication there. And
you see Western Hills with a ton of people playing deep. They're trying to get the defense to stop. Looks like we got a foul.
Yeah, that's going to be Ty Hancock on Lucas Nance, but
a good tactical foul there by Hancock.
Yeah, we had a tactical foul with 4.5 seconds to go Thursday night, and that almost backfired on the Panthers. That was kind of an insane finish. Thankfully, our live stream, we were able to confirm that the referees do, in fact, every once in a while make an accurate call.
That coming from someone who's already refereed earlier today, right?
Yeah, I'm on my 4th soccer game today, 3 tomorrow.
Is it still a beautiful game this many games in on a Saturday?
It really is, and, you know, I'm just glad they're playing. You know, I wasn't sure they were going to get to do this. You know, with COVID and all the changes that we're going through. This is Wade Sutley.
Wade Sutley, who's probably the most dangerous player for Western Hills with the ball. So trying to take on pretty much the entire Frankfort High defense.
Ashton Austin out there, one of the sophomore center backs. He and Henry Higbee start as the partner pair, and they're supported by Carter Gilbert, who I'm sure we'll see here shortly.
You know, Chinmay Tope out there, number 4, is back on the field down at Marion County the other night in a tough 1-0 win for Western Hills. He took an elbow to the eye, and it was some question on if he was going to be able to make it back for this game today.
Well, and I want to bring it up. Frankfort High, you know, played a big football game last night against Western Hills. They came up short. But one of our soccer players, a young man named Thiago Pierres, he was taken off in an ambulance on a tough hit, and it was good to see him out here tonight. He got cleared to play this afternoon, and I think it was more of a scare, which thankfully it was just a scare and not something more serious.
And you know, that's one of those things that everybody loves to play sports, but the injuries do happen. And with these condensed schedules that we're seeing for sports and kids playing more than one sport, it's going to cause some injury situations.
Absolutely. Monday night we were at Franklin County, and senior Ingrid Hagg unfortunately broke her collarbone.
Oh, and she's
one of their top players. She's been a starter for the last 3 or 4 years. I know Coach John Suffin is disappointed for her because you just hate to see kids get hurt in that senior year. Early substitution here for Frankfort High. That was Preston Barber coming in at left back, replacing Lucci Allen. And
we got a
looks
yellow
like
card.
He got a yellow card. That's a quick yellow. Must have been something said.
That's exactly right.
Wouldn't have been. There was no foul called.
Well, and you know, KHSAA has put an emphasis on language on the field, and I have a feeling, Bo, that's exactly what happened. We're too far away to hear it, and we probably couldn't repeat it anyway. So they've stopped the clock.
Stopped the clock, and I forgot to do that. So our clock on screen is a little bit early. We'll get that settled here.
Throw in for Western Hills. Trying to control the play here. They're going to swing it back out. A little heavy touch there by Badger. And Frankfort High's off and running.
That's played through to Tyron Reynolds. He's not going to be able to get there. And
you know,
that was the guy you were talking about in the pregame.
All season long, I've been amazed by the speed and anticipation of Lincoln Maddox. He is really the key to this defense. And it's on their last game at Marion County, he single-handedly swept the back line countless times to keep that shutout for Western Hills.
Well, I've already noticed a little switch to the formation of Frankfort High. Coach K has been playing Ethan Vermillion in the wing a lot with Adam Gritton and Tyron Reynolds, but tonight it looks like he's inverted Ethan Vermillion and Nathan Neal. So now we see Nathan Neal, number 23. So it's going to be a matchup of the 23s up top. And Ethan Vermillion has taken more of what we call the 10 role,
Well, and I think, with Vermillion's ability to see the game in front of him, that's a good tactical move from the coach, and we'll see how that plays out.
Well, they move him around a lot. There's Ethan on the left side, and Gritton will migrate into that attacking role. Coach K's got some interchangeable parts that he tries to keep moving around so that teams, don't know exactly what to plan for. But here's
that was Casey Smith with the interception. Wade Sutley with the ball, passing up to Lucas Nance. Lucas with lots of speed on that right wing.
He's got some numbers, too. That's a good decision to cut back. Early shot.
Oh, and
I don't know if that was a shot or maybe just a ball to the back post.
Looks like it's going to be a goal kick. But, I think you're going to see some of that counter activity. Frankfort seems to be playing a very high line right now. And
and you could see there Preston Barber had made his way forward. And so, you got to delay so that your outside backs can get back in play.
Western Hills with the press, and they've got a turnover with Wade
Sutley's
Sutley.
In.
Oh, it's through the uprights, but
that's a good
football.
chance. That's
Wrong
a good
football.
chance. But like you mentioned, Frankfort High is trying to play out of the back. And quick turnover. Wade Sutley gets played in, but unfortunately a little bit high, and I think it was a little wide as well. Vermillion in some space here. That's Nathan Neal. He's out wide to Preston Barber. Back to Adam Gritton. He's trying to turn. Good close down there. He finds Nathan Neal. That was a great ball.
Just wide. Good look there from Frankfort.
And that was a nice little 4 or 5 pass combination there, too.
And you saw the Wolverines pull back a lot to get behind the ball, but still Frankfort was able to get a quality shot there with good ball movement.
Got a quick substitution here. Frankfort High, number 2, Carter Gilbert, is jumping in. Center back position. He'll slot in next to Ashton Austin. Henry Higbee gets a break.
Matthew Meyer with the goal kick. Going to run through the back 4 of Frankfort, and they're going to play back to Yoakum.
He had a little time there, but took a quick one-touch clearance. And this is McLean Barber connecting with Ashton Austin, and back to Vermillion.
The whole Frankfort offense really flows through Vermillion.
It absolutely does. That was a nice little ball into Tyron Reynolds.
Good
Barber
ball.
out to Nate Neal, but I don't know, can't quite get there.
That's the issue with turf sometimes. The ball runs very quick.
And it's a quick goal kick from Meyer trying to catch again. See, Barber's having to track back, so looks like Western Hills has an idea there.
Once again, we'll get another goal kick for Western Hills. The speed of the turf definitely impacting the play of Frankfort here early.
Absolutely. But we've seen them start to knock some passes around. They've had 2 good little series there. Weren't able to get Nathan Neal out on the wing, but the idea was there.
Well, seeing Frankfort with a little bit of a press as Western Hills tries to play out of the back. And Western Hills struggling to maintain possession, and they lose it.
That's Preston Barber, back to Ty Hancock. Nathan Neal.
If I'm watching here, Frankfort setting themselves up for to be vulnerable to a counterattack, pulling that back 4 way up the field. If for those fans at home, they're making it up to the other end, to the 40-yard line
that
there.
Long throw in, cleared the outside back, but it's cleared. Is that Maddox again? Or?
Yes, it is.
Like you said, he's a little bit of everywhere.
Yes, he is. And, it's just that senior leadership, being able to read the game and really react for this team.
Good win there by Ethan Carpenter and connected with Ty Hancock, but his pass is intercepted.
Up to Chime Tope on the right wing. A little heavy touch there.
Yeah, Carter Gilbert comes over and does a good job. Ball still in play. I think he was trying to play it off of him, but that was a good idea.
Chime with very quick feet.
I haven't really seen Chime on the wing, but it looks like he's playing more kind of that outside mid.
It's one of those things. He started playing wing with his club team last year and was very successful there. And so it's interesting to see how they're starting to rotate the players for Western Hills. Very similar to what Frankfort's been doing.
Well, I'll tell you what, we got to give a
great ball.
That's onside too. Frankfort High wanted it. That's a great cutback.
Great opportunity for Western Hills.
Little toe poke there from Ashton Austin just to throw off Raphael Fricker. And now Frankfort High, a little combination between, Preston Barber couldn't quite get that touch. No, I was going to bring up Franklin County and Coach Lewis Tandy the other night. He had maybe one sub that he played. And we called him Swiss Army Knife. He had 3 or 4 kids that it felt like they played maybe 3 or 4 positions each.
That's interesting. Ball's through
Reynolds.
there.
He's not going to be able to connect to it. Cleared out.
Josh Lumpkins.
But, you know, Caden Turner, Henry Nasaya, Owen Clements, they were everywhere. Outside back, center back, left wing, right wing. And I think, really impressive, actually.
You know, Franklin County this year struggling to score, so he's trying, I'm sure, to push the buttons to get something happening. Lucas Nance with the ball on the right side again. You can tell that they're definitely going at that right side.
He's around the corner. He's going to try to hit a cutback. Couldn't pull it back quite enough. And Sam Yoakum with the early distribution to Ethan Vermillion.
See, Fricker and Vermillion matching up quite a bit on the field.
Yep, that's a turnover here. Both teams struggling to get out of their final third some. And this is Casey Smith getting on that preferred right.
It's a good ball to Josh Lumpkins.
It is a good ball. And that's a great.
That's going to be a shot here.
He turns it back. Wow. That's a little unselfish. I think I might want him just to hit one with power and just, you never know.
Well, it's hard to score if you never get a good shot. So.
That's true. We noticed, you know, they scored one the other night against Bardstown that you wouldn't expect. This is Vermillion in some space. He's trying to spray it out wide.
Oh, keeper's out. And we're going to get our first goal of the game.
That's Adam Gritton getting on the end of the pass from Ethan Vermillion. Matthew Meyer quick off his line, but couldn't quite get there. And we have our first goal.
You know, Adam Gritton I've watched him play for many years, just has a nose for the goal, and that was just a great goal scorer's goal there. Great let off there for him to run on, and with Meyer coming off the goal line, an easy score for Frankfort.
Goal by number 18, Adam Gritton.
So we got 1-0 Frankfort High, goal from Adam Gritton.
0.
Assist to Ethan Vermillion, 27 minutes on the clock.
And as we said earlier, you know, Vermillion's the key to that offense. And, you know,
again, you know, Coach Brad Kennedy, he's in his 6th year at Frankfort High. You know, he's already in this short season kind of adjusted his ideas, which is a sign of a coach who's really trying to figure things out.
Yeah, and you know, and with Vermillion's touch there, you know, Gritton gets credit for the goal, but the assist was the key.
Absolutely. He took a little bit off of it too, you know, like on this turf, he put a little bit of a check on it so that it would check up. And, you know, Meyer made a decision, and as a goalkeeper, once you make that decision, you're kind of committed.
Yeah.
The worst thing he could do is stop halfway and really be in no man's land.
It looks like we got a sub. We got Kenyon Thomas on the field now in the central midfielding role there. Earlier games, he was playing out on the wing, but with the game in Marion County, Coach Mangum switched him to midfield, and he was able to get a goal there in that 1-0 win at Marion County.
That's out off Western Hills, so I have a Frankfort High throw in. Beautiful night here on the brand new turf complex. We were at Franklin County last night, got to see those Flyers play their home opener against Woodford County. Beautiful night. Franklin County got their 2nd win on the season, but the first ever win on that turf field. And, you know, we talked about this Monday, just a tremendous upgrade for both of these schools. And it's, you know, we're very happy for them, but it's also a blessing for Frankfort High because they're going to get kind of access to the Sauer Soccer Complex. So instead of having to share with 4 other teams, they'll only have to share with their girls' team. So
and you know, when that Sauer Complex,
everybody wins, I think.
That's right. That Sauer Complex has always been a nice surface. The problem was overuse.
Absolutely.
Just too many games in too short a time frame, and what that ends up doing is the surface kept
that's a quick
degrading.
Quick free kick by Frankfort High, and they had Preston Barber out wide, but he couldn't quite connect. And Carter Gilbert's going to look to play as keeper and see if Frankfort High tries to play out here. Back to Gilbert.
Western Hills up with the press, trying to see if they can make something happen here.
It's a nice little turn there, but the ball got away from Barber and actually cleared off of him as well, so it's going to be a Western Hills throw in.
Western Hills got 2 subs trying to come on.
Yeah, I'm not sure why they're not coming in. The referee just doesn't see them, maybe.
I don't know. He might have thought they weren't there in time. Craig Barber getting the ball back into play. Here's Lincoln Maddox, Mr. Everywhere for Western Hills early on.
He really has been impressive. It's Casey Smith dropping in. Good little tackle there from McLean Barber. And
good, a senior there on a younger player, just bodying him up so they were able to maintain possession. We've got our substitutions coming in now.
Zach Hurst, number 30, Raul Hernandez.
Raul Hernandez, he's a sophomore, but he's the leading scorer for the Wolverines. Got a hat trick last weekend against Shelby County, couple PKs.
So he has got 4 on the season, and you know Zach Hurst has come in on this left wing. Zach has been playing very well lately and had the key assist in that win at Marion County.
Now it's interesting, you know, your son Kenyon Thomas, my son Colby Craycraft. Colby Craycraft just jumped in. He's going to play more of that holding midfield position, number 8. Your son's number 16. It's kind of neat just to see your kids. And Kenyon has really improved a ton on the field. You know, he's a goalkeeper for his club team, but he's put a few in the back of the net, including the Marion County game winner Thursday night. So all that hard work. I know he's been working out up at Footbox in Lexington with Coach BJ.
You know, and it's one of those things that he truly is a story of hard work is paying off. He's one of those kids that when practice is done, he's always saying, let's go to the gym. I need to lift today. So he's realized that being in the field, you need to have a little bit more power in your play.
Yep, I agree. Another quick kick. We're seeing Western Hills try to play with some speed here. Good tackle there. Trying to play, is that Nance?
That is, it looks like Baylor Brooker.
Baylor Brooker, okay.
Both teams going through some early substitutions. As we talked about in our last game together, Bo, endurance is definitely a big part of the game in COVID soccer world.
Yeah, I mean, you know, a lot of games in a short period of time. In fact, Frankfort High, you know, with the weather last weekend, they picked up a game tomorrow night, the All-A Region 11 Championship. They're going to travel to Lexington Christian in Lexington. 6 o'clock game start. That game should be covered live on Prep Spin. So for those of you, that's a bad turnover here, but not able to capitalize. But yeah, so they're going to have effectively 3 games in 4 days.
Wow.
And so it's a lot, even for these young guys who haven't got to play for 6 months. Vermillion in space again. He plays Nate Neal. He's continuing his run.
And there comes Lincoln Maddox to sweep it up again. And, you know, it's funny because
Vermillion's fast, but Maddox has got some wheels too.
He does. And what's funny is that it's that senior mentality of getting in there and making things happen. You'll see him drop back almost into a sweeper position out of their 4 back there. He's onside.
He was inside his own half.
That was a great play. Heavy touch. Let's see. He
goes
got
around him, and we're tied, folks.
Beautiful play by Western Hills.
Wade Sutley, senior Wade Sutley with the goal. And we are tied 1-1, folks.
You know, Bo, we talked about that high line that Frankfort was playing, and very high again, and Western Hills with their head up was able to find Sutley.
In the game of soccer, if you begin on your side, on your defensive half of the field, you cannot be offside. And the center backs just fell asleep a little bit there.
Yep.
Got a little too high up the field. And next thing you know, Wade's in.
He had a good 5-yard advantage on them. There was no way they were going to catch him. Yoakum played a little mind game with him, hoping to make him stumble, but once he was by the keeper, it was no doubt that he was going to put it in the back of the net.
So good answer back there from Western Hills.
You got to call that foul, I think, middle of the play, but he's letting them play.
Number 20 right here, but on the near side is Taylor Dunnigan. He's another sophomore. One of the things you'll see is there's a lot of sophomores and juniors on this Frankfort High team. They're not as senior laden as the Wolverines.
Yeah, Wolverines once again with 15 seniors. Good give and go play there by Frankfort. I think Vermillion's looking for a shot at this point.
Yeah, he's trying. He tried to play it, and he's looking for a foul, I think, too.
And I don't think he's going to get it. We're going to get a corner instead.
Wolverines.
The linesman is calling for a corner kick.
And that's what we'll go with.
No.
You know, that was one of those trying to stop Vermillion there on the break and just not sure why that wasn't called.
And you got to be careful with him. You know, he's shifty. You stick a leg in there, and he can get by you. So that was right on the edge of the box, too. But
and Stefan Rudich playing defense there. Stefan, a senior. I keep saying that over and over, lots of seniors.
It's a deep cross. It's not going to be able to connect with anyone. That's Raul Hernandez getting the clearance.
I can tell you there on that play, you could see that Frankfort's adjusted. They had their center backs back a little further this time.
That's dangerous there. And the flag went up. I'm stopping the clock here. I wonder if we're had some words.
No, I think he's calling him for offsides.
I think I saw Sam Yoakum turn back and look at Wade Sutley. I'm wondering if he had some comments. I don't think he liked Sutley coming in. I don't think there was anything intentional there, but
yeah. It's a real bang-bang play.
It's hard. You know, as a dad of a goalkeeper, they're in a defensive position a lot.
Yep. Oh, and, is that a straight red that we're just seeing here?
Wow,
oh, that's a game-changing play. Oh.
That is senior Wade Sutley, and it has to be a magic word. It has to be, and as we talked about with the earlier yellow card, looks like Coach Chad Mangum is trying to get an explanation.
And the problem with the red card is you don't just lose him for this game.
Yeah, it's what is that, a two additional game?
It's 2 additional games under the current rules. Now, there is an appeal process that they can go through, but a straight red as shown, I think they're going to going to have to make some calls to KHSAA to try and get him back.
And this is one of those situations where it wasn't a foul call. It wasn't a foul call. So there's nothing to really review. It had to be words.
It had to be.
It had to be something said, I believe.
And you saw the early yellow card that came out for Frankfort. So we had already knew that they were on the lookout for that type of behavior.
Yeah, and this is Shigemi is our center referee. I can't pronounce his last name. He's a seasoned referee. He's done several regional, state championship level games. He's been around the block. So
it's going to be a drop ball.
I don't think he would have done that unless he felt pretty confident. And I'm not sure who our AR is, but he was quick to raise that flag.
Yep. Well, and, you know, I think right now they're telling Sutley he needs to leave the bench area. So
I hate that. He's a senior. Ball gets played over the top here. That's Taylor Dunnigan putting a little pressure on Rudick. That was a tough ball to his keeper. Whew. That's well done by Matthew Meyer. He kind of like chest trapped that down.
Yeah.
I don't think he's too happy with that ball being played back. This is Taylor Dunnigan in a little space looking for Nate Neal. That's John Carpenter with a little touch. It's tight there. Craycraft's trying to keep it in.
You know, you're seeing a total difference in Western Hills since the red card. You see nobody up top.
Early shot from Verm, and that is a beautiful field goal.
I'm telling you, that was from distance. That was a 35-yard field goal there.
We're not going to send this film to Coach Craig Foley. We're not interested, nah.
That's right.
Phil for Coach Foley. His boys played their heart out last night against Western Hills, fought back several times, got to within a 2-point conversion right there at the end of the fourth quarter. We were at Woodford County watching that game, or at Franklin County, but we had the Frankfort Plant Board feed up, and so we were keeping track. And I would have loved to see them get to push that into overtime and see if they could. That's twice in a row that they've really been heartbroken there at the end of the fourth quarter.
I saw Jeffrey Parker, who had a big run in that game a little earlier today, and the smile is still there from that.
Oh, I'm sure.
65-yard touchdown run for Jeffrey.
It's a game of inches, you know. Frankfort High had an interception and clear pick six, and the guy just barely steps out of bounds, you know. And it's But Frankfort High's at Woodford County next week. We're hoping to maybe get to go up to Woodford County and catch that game. Woodford County gave Franklin County more than I think they thought they were going to get. That's a good ball out to Taylor Dunnigan. He's got McLean making a run. Goes with Vermillion instead, who touches to McLean Barber. McLean couldn't quite get it off his.
Lincoln Maddox up again.
That's a good tackle. This is Craycraft looking out wide. He's got Dungan. He's got McLean Barber on the overlap, but I think
Josh Lumpkins with good
he's
read
gonna clean
there.
that up.
Yep.
But no, you're right. It's made it a bit different for Western Hills. They clearly have. I think they're trying to get through this first half.
Yes, and then figure out something.
Yep, make an adjustment.
There's a missed header there in the box. Dangerous play, but once again, nobody up high for for Western Hills. So Frankfort has plenty of time to play the ball.
Yep, Vermillion's checking too. He's got Duncan out wide. He's trying to get around the corner and.
Foul on Rudich there as he tried to turn the corner.
This isn't quite the spot, but it's on the similar side as the goal the other night. You can see Ty Hancock, number 22, making his way over. The other night, you know, he played a beautiful, low-driven ball right across the face of the goal. Goalkeeper wasn't sure, should I come out, should I not? And Ethan Vermillion was flying at that far post. This one's short.
Very similar type play there.
It was more of a square pass there. That was something that looks like they had practiced on the training ground.
I think Western Hills is just right now still in shock, just trying to hang on. And we've got a whole lot of game left. So I think the mentality is totally different than when they started off.
This is Craycraft, number 8, looking to switch it to Carter Gilbert. Vermillion there, you know, he's checking. He's making himself available. And right here he's going to try to turn. Had 2 on, and Gilbert's going to just play it back, create some space here, and he's got – that was not a good decision there from Austin. He blind turned and into some pressure.
Kenyon Thomas and Zach Hurst trying to keep the ball up on
well, they're
the
trying to make
end.
Something out of nothing, and they've at least been able to release some pressure.
Yep. That was a good ball by Jack Caldwell, but just missed Lucas Nance with that.
We got a substitution here, and while we're doing that, I want to just highlight Charles T. Mitchell. They are one of our sponsors, and we're just blessed to have them here. You can see this portion of the game will be sponsored by them. It's a little harder to take breaks in a soccer game, but we're very thankful for Charles T. Mitchell. They were our first Frankfort sponsor to join us, and without a few sponsors, it's going to be difficult for us to, you know, make all the events and try to get some folks that can help us with camera work. And
well, and you got the great Greg McClavick there, and the McClavick family.
Jim Klaus, and you know, they've been a staple of Frankfort for years, and continue to be. And Greg texted me the other night and said his boy Reed, who we talked about earlier, was in Iowa watching the game.
Oh,
so
wow.
It's good. But we're thankful for Charles T. Mitchell, thankful for their support. We also were able to pick up Bluegrass Energy Cooperative this week, and we want you to follow us on Facebook and Twitter and Instagram. We're trying to share highlights from a lot of these games, and we're calling them the power plays of the game. Sometimes this might just be one play. Sometimes it might be several plays. But check us out, like us.
Oh, you saw Chinmay Tope, the magician, out in the middle of the field right there, dancing through the defense to get an offensive push to Zach Hurst.
We're going to have a couple substitutions for Frankfort High. Looks like Adam Gritton is going to return and Nathan Neal. But we'll have to wait to the next break. Craycraft looks out here wide to Preston Barber. He looks to his brother McLean. Back to Craycraft, and he's going to swing it,
That's
but he underhit it. That was a bad giveaway.
It's a good-looking shot by Lucas Nance, but not on frame.
And that was a bad giveaway from Craycraft. He's got to put a little bit more pace on that if he's going to try to switch. But
looked like Nance tried to use the outside of his right boot on that one to bend it, and it wasn't a whole lot of bend on that once he struck it.
As we mentioned, Adam Gritton jumps in here on the right side. Nathan Neal goes back to that number 9 spot, just in front, or just on top of Ethan Vermillion. And Frankfort High's playing with danger with these balls through. And
there's a great ball from
Lucas
Hernandez.
Nance. Oh, good save.
Good shot. Good shot, good save.
Even down a player due to the red card, you know, Western Hills has created 2 chances here, and has been their MO. They're going quick on these free kicks.
And what's interesting is that what they've done is they had to eliminate a position, so they eliminated the striker. So now they're just running down the wings a lot as opposed to looking for that hold up for Sutley.
Yep. No, you're absolutely correct. And I think they would be happy if they could go in tied, because then they could kind of reorganize, so to speak, and maybe they decide to pull a midfielder out of play, or maybe go to more of like a 4-4-1.
Yeah, you know, their typical formation's a 4-3-3, and with Sutley typically at the tip of the spear, they'll say, and with him out, they're definitely keeping the 4 back, but. Right now, the midfield is still high for them, so there's a little bit of a gap between those back 4 and that holding midfield area.
That's Nathan Neal looking to connect with McLean Barber.
Verbillion with a good ball.
Yeah, is Reynolds going to be able to get there? He is. He's trying to cut it back, but that's a good tackle there.
Craig Badger, that's another senior on that back line. Good read and good tackle to avoid that nice offensive move.
Throw in here to Reynolds. He plays the ball back to Lucci Allen. It's a deep cross over the head of Gritton. He's going to try to keep possession, but
looks like he lost it out of bounds according to the AR there.
There's a little action there after the play there from Lumpkins.
Going to have a throw in. You know, it seems like we played so much, but we still have 10 minutes left in this first half.
We're just 30 minutes in, and I haven't even started my clock. I'm so into the game that it's this is
Stefan Rudich with that ball up, trying to get it to the wing there for Western Hills. Western Hills is showing surprising a lot of offense here, playing a man down. Lucas Nance trying to show his speed and determination.
Around the corner. This is the second time. Good cutback, and that's a great track back there from number 8, Kobe Craycraft.
Goes wide.
But I don't think if he's there, Raphael Fricker was in. So
I think so. You know, it's good recognition.
He had to use those long legs.
Wheels.
Yeah. I don't know. He's got better wheels than his dad.
Oh, it's a good ball. Oh, Casey Smith with little under that header. That's a great ball though from Tope.
It's almost like, you know, you think Frankfort has maybe kind of like settled a little bit. Now they think they have a one-man advantage, and
I think they're trying to be too pretty right now. And you know, Western Hills getting a little gritty on them.
And you can see they're dropping in and kind of inviting these short passes and just waiting for a turnover. And Frankfort High is playing a little slow. I mean, this is 3-4 touches, and then we make a 5-yard pass. Like, you're going to try to break some lines.
And I think, too, that it comes down to the confidence they have with Lincoln Maddox in the back. It's the holding midfielders playing a little bit higher than they normally would. So you're seeing the offense for Western Hills.
Logan Maddox stepped forward, and he's going to have to get on those wheels. That's a great play there by Fricker. And I think we're going to get a yellow card on Ethan Vermillion here. So that's 2 yellow cards for the Panthers. Of course, we've got a significant red card for the Western Hills Wolverines. For those of you joining us, 8.5 minutes left here in the first half. We're at Western Hills High School. Game is tied 1-1. Frankfort High opened the scoring. Adam Gritton was able to slot home a pass from Ethan Vermillion. That was quickly answered back by the Wolverines by Wade Sutley, who got in behind the Panther defense. But then shortly after that, we had a pretty substantial play, little collision between the goalkeeper, Sam Yoakum, and Wade Sutley. And we think there was some words shared, but at the end of the day, there was a red card shown, and so Western Hills is down a player.
You know, that's one of those things that happens with district play. They know each other well, so they tend to take these games very seriously. And so this red card that came around It's been a game changer for Western Hills. Sutley was good when he was on the field, but that play that happened was
you identified him early as maybe their most dangerous attacker. I think Lucas Nance is up there with him.
Yep.
But he was definitely, as you called it, the head of the spear. This is Ethan Carpenter with the throw in.
Looks like it's going to go out of bounds. Yep. Western Hills throw in.
Stefan Rudick's going to hand that off to Josh Slumpkins, and he finds Chimney Tope. It's a good step. That's a tight call. That touch got a little bit away from Chimney, and Hancock tried to step. I think he got ball, but as we saw the other night, sometimes if you get enough body, it doesn't matter. And he got a lot of body there too.
See Western Hills once again trying to go down that right side. That's what Coach Mangum has stressed to his players today, because you can see it time and time again. They're going down that right side looking for Lucas Nance. Got Jack Caldwell in the middle of the pitch right now. We got another foul.
That's another foul, and that's again Hancock. And I think he's inching closer to a yellow card.
Yes.
That's 2 fouls in about 30 seconds here. Apologize, folks. I keep forgetting to do my score or my time, so I apologize for that.
For the fans at home, there's essentially 3 people trying to get this whole broadcast off, so bear with us a little bit. Hopefully the camera stays focused and the internet stays up and we're able to broadcast the action here from Western Hills.
Yeah, we got Jason Gilbert on the camera tonight. He pulled a late night shift last night at Franklin County. Did a great job covering the football game.
Good ball by Lucas Nance and Casey Smith. Let's see if he can do anything with it.
He gets through that first tackle.
Oh, that's a great
Goal
save.
is open.
Great save by Yoakum.
Shot by Smith.
Western Hills with a little bit of fight in them.
They're more than a little bit. More than a little bit. They have reacted very well.
The crowd getting behind that one. As we had a little controversy on who the ball was off of, and it looks like the referee has decided it's Western Hills' ball.
But I think you're right. I think and now we have another
stoppage.
I'm not sure. It's the same AR, and I'm going to stop the clock. Hopefully we'll remember to restart.
Not sure what we're
it.
looking at here.
Maybe an injury to Sam Yoakum. That might be what it is. He's looking a little gimpy.
Yeah, looks like he's got a problem with the right leg.
He came out and made that save. He just gave a thumbs up, so it looks like he's going to remain in the game. The Panthers have a strong backup goalkeeper, much like the Wolverines do. Dawson Pearl is a sophomore, but very capable young man.
And this is one of those things. With the games being limited and soccer being taken away, these players are not wanting to come out of the game at all.
They aren't. We got 5 minutes here. Of course, a little over 5 minutes remaining. This is Preston Barber trying to take some space, and he's got Tyron Reynolds out wide.
He's going to run out of bounds. It looks like the speed of the turf once again coming about.
Another example of that for sure. We got a substitution.
Looks like Fricker coming back in.
Taking in for the Wolverines, number 8, Raphael Fricker.
Number 8, Raphael Fricker. He's another senior. I feel like we say that a lot, but that's the case this year with Western Hills.
Coming in for Raul Hernandez. Goal kick for Meyer. Jack Caldwell shepherding that one to the sidelines. Looked like it went out right before it went to Casey Smith, so it's going to be a throw in for
the AR
Frankfort
agrees
High.
with you. Just over 4 minutes here remaining.
Been an action-packed game, my goodness.
It's been a lot of activity for sure.
And it's one of those things, that's just what you expect when you get these district matchups.
Absolutely.
Let's see if Casey Smith can track this down as it slid through the defense there, Frankfort. But it's a deflection, so it's going to be Western Hills ball. Yep. Referee clearly saying that it was a deflected ball.
Yeah, and he was quick to make that call, so I think that's
Oh, let's see what we have. Fricker with the shot, just wide.
Just a bit wide by Fricker.
Well, since the red card, Western Hills has had 3 or 4, maybe even 5 good chances.
Well, they've changed their game plan. You know, early on they were looking to exploit that high line with Sutley scoring the goal off of a counter. Now it seems like we're getting a lot more of connections, but in that final third, and we're starting to see the players trying to build up to get the potential goal. I'd say, Bo, the wind's blowing about 30 miles an hour nonstop, so you're probably hearing that at home.
Absolutely. You're probably getting a little bit of feedback. It's a brisk wind. I'm questioning my decision to wear shorts tonight.
Well, shorts and flip-flops, so you're still in the beach phase.
Yeah.
California dreaming, maybe.
Yeah, or maybe, as my wife says, just not very smart.
Well, I think I'm right there beside you because I have shorts on too. So we must think we're playing tonight.
Well, last night we were in the press box at Franklin County. You know, football games have a lot more folks on hand, coaches up top. We had the radio crew, and you know, I got by with the shorts. But I think we're getting to that time of the year. We're getting to that fall. It feels weird because we're so early in soccer season. You know, usually this is in August.
Yep. You know, it's even the international leagues have had a late start due to COVID, so everything's just pushed back.
Don't tell me any of the scores. I'm hoping to catch up with them when I get home this evening.
You know, the best team played yesterday, so that's okay.
The best team is an accurate term for your Bayern Munich boys, Champions League winners.
Yeah, 8-0 was their score, just in case you missed
Adam
that one.
Gritton is in. That's a great ball. I wasn't sure who played that in. And we have another wonderful field goal at an angle. That's a tough finish.
One of the things that happened there, you had 2 Western Hills players closing very quickly. Stefan Rudic trying to hold up, but then Lincoln Maddox once again coming out of nowhere.
But that's really the first chance we've seen since the red card that, you know, I would consider a good chance. So Hancock trying to take some space here, cuts it back, but that's Chime Tope.
That's a good battle there in the middle of the pitch. I see Josh Lumpkins get to that ball.
He's a very solid outside back. He always has been.
Yeah. And, you know, this year I think he's even taken it up a step from where he was.
That's one of those
something called there.
Yeah, that's a foul, but that's one of those situations, again, where Frankfort High is just playing a little slow. With an extra man, you want this ball to keep moving. That's a good idea there for a cross. It's going to drop to.
That was Badger that handled that ball and got it to Jack Caldwell.
That was a good step by Jack because you had Ethan Vermillion bearing down on him.
Well, and I think, you know, Western Hills has really cranked up the D to try and make up for the lost man, and they're still able to get some offensive push. So, you know, some teams, they lose a player with a red card, they just park the bus, so to speak, and put everybody back and hope for the best. And Western Hills has come to play some offense.
We got 20 seconds here, and we're going to get a foul. I think he's going to get Adam Gritton from behind there. Yep. And that might take us to halftime. We got 11 seconds.
Yeah, the clock's just running, and the referee had stopped play.
He now has stopped play with 3 seconds left. I think he's going to ask them to maybe put some time back on. 15 seconds, he's saying. We're going to add 15 seconds.
And, Bo, we better pay attention to the clock, as we found out with the Franklin County game the other day.
Kick taken by Caldwell.
And I'm not going to start. We're just going to let him play it out here. Got 10 seconds on the clock. Looks like Sam Yoakum's going to collect and take us to halftime. 5 seconds on the clock.
What a first half here in this district matchup. We got Frankfort 1, Western Hills 1.
Yeah, so we've reached halftime. We're at Western Hills High School boys soccer. Chad Mangum, you can see there, is going to take his crew. They got a little work to do, figure out they're a man down. We got 10 minutes on the halftime clock. We'll be right back on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
Hello, Miss Sylvia. This is John from Anderson Apothecary. I was just calling to see how you were feeling today.
John goes above and beyond for each and every customer that we have.
He jumped right on it. If someone needed help, John would be the first guy there. No questions asked, nothing. He'll be there.
John just wanted to open a hometown pharmacy just to take better care of his customers.
Well, I sure am glad you're feeling better. We're going to be bringing your medication by here just shortly. Is there anything else I can pick up for you?
If you haven't met John yet, come out and meet him, and you'll like him just as much as we do.
Welcome the Western Hills Wolverine Majorettes as they take the field for their first performance. Let them warm up your evening with their performance to Fireball. Introducing senior Brooke Aldridge, junior Hannah Neal, senior Courtney Kroon, sophomores Elena McChrystal, Annabelle Barnes, Daphne Yang, and junior Leah Hibbets. Ladies, before we start, let's do a sound check real quick. Make sure YouTube doesn't have any ads. I promise we're getting there. We'll do a sound check, then I'll restart. All right, here we go.
All right, we're back here at Western Hills High School. I'm Bo Craycraft. I'm joined tonight by Brad Thomas. We got a great matchup between Western Hills, Frankfort High. We're tied 1-1.
What an action-packed first half, Bo.
A lot of action. We had a couple goals. We had some yellow cards and some red cards.
It's a full Crayola box, as they say.
And Coach Mangum is using a lot of this halftime talk just to probably figure out how do we want to organize, and you expect them to change something.
Yep. I would expect to see that they're going to go to some kind of exotic type formation where you're going to see more attacking players. I think Western Hills, it's going to be interesting how they're going to come out, because are they going to go for the win, or are they going to just try and hang on for this tie? Well, it's a district game.
Game, so we have to have a winner. If we're tied at the end of regulation, we'll go to 2 5-minute sudden deaths. If we're still tied after that, we'll go to shootout. You know, interestingly enough, for those of you that are joining us from home or maybe joining us a little bit late, Western Hills had one of their senior strikers, Wade Sutley, get ejected with a red card, and that means they have to play a player down. So instead of having 11 players on the field, they only have 10, and versus the Panthers, who have 11. And so you see it in soccer all the time. That doesn't necessarily mean that, you know, the team with more players is just going to take off. And as we saw at the end of the second half, I think Frankfort High laid their guard down a little bit, and they kind of relaxed.
Right.
And Western Hills created 3 or 4 good chances, and so.
Yeah, but, you know, it's one of those things. It's hard to lose a player of Sutley's stature. You know, even if this game does go to PKs, I would think he may have been their first person taking a PK. So critical player for them.
That's a good point. That's a good point. So ball's back in play. Panthers kick it off.
Looks like what Western Hills is coming out with is just good old trapping defense. They're just going to chase the ball here a lot at the offensive edge of their team. The defense, it looks like they're going to stick with 4 in the back and try to get a turnover here to start pushing up some offense. Frankfort High looks like they're in a 4-3-3 to start the second half.
It looked like they went back the way they started. So no adjustments just yet. And we got another stoppage here, maybe an injury. Is that Raphael Fricker?
It does look like Fricker being down. No, it's actually Chime Tope.
Okay.
And he has hurt a leg, it appears.
But it looks like he's kind of walking off a little bit, putting a little pressure on that, so hopefully he can jump back in here.
Got Raul Hernandez, the sophomore, who's the leading scorer on the team. He's now tied with Sutley for 4 on the season. Will replace him. So
we're back in play, and Frankfort High just plays a real direct ball, and Matthew Meyer will collect. I think they were trying to just give the ball back, and good sportsmanship there.
Yeah.
Clearance by Meyer.
Meyer with a goal kick, trying to find someone.
If the folks at home can hear some feedback, it is pretty windy up here, and we apologize for that. We're on top of the press box here at Western Hills, and we got a great view. It's a good night, but that wind has made it a little chilly and a little windy, you know, from a sound perspective.
See Fricker pressuring the ball, trying to get something to happen positively for Western Hills on the offensive end.
Franklin County there saying it was a deflection, but the referee doesn't agree.
Yeah, to no avail. You know what was interesting, Bo, is once the red card happened, we did not see Frankfort in the final third very much at all.
No, I think that Adam Gritton got a little touch. And here's, speaking of which, it looks like Ethan Vermillion's going to play Tyron Reynolds in. He's going to try to get around Lumpkins.
That's good defense from Lumpkins. Just forced him to that end line, and then he got trapped with nothing to do.
And that's one of the things, too, on this turf is you get going, and it's kind of hard to cut back. Ball gets moving a little bit faster than maybe it would on grass.
Fricker with the touch there and a good battle in the midfield.
McLean Barber playing it off Fricker, so Frankfort High throw in.
Bo, if the wind could actually increase, it'd be great, because I tell you, we're seeing about 30-mile-an-hour winds right now.
It's picking up. You can't see the American flag but it is blowing pretty briskly.
Frankfort High able to clear the ball out.
Yeah, they got a deflection though, so it's their throw in. Tries to connect there with Verm, and
Lincoln Maddox, the
big
man
clearance.
cleaning it up again.
That's Casey Smith giving charge.
Oh, I think we're going to see a card there.
I think we're going to see a card as well. That was just not a very smart play.
No,
they have not stopped the clock here in person, but he did ask to stop the clock.
And you know what was amazing about that foul is typically you'll see players try to hide it. That was just two-hand shove in the back. And, you know, that's one of those things. In a game
where you've already seen a kid red carded and 2 yellow cards, I mean, you're not going to get that leeway.
Well, and it's that discipline that you expect to see out of seniors, but both of those major fouls have been from seniors on Western Hills.
Rivalry games too, you know.
That's exactly right.
We got another discussion here between the AR and.
I'm going to bet that once again we're seeing the call for language.
We've had a lot of these little conversations tonight between the AR and the referee.
You know what?
Well, we got a little break here. Let's talk a little bit about our schedule this week here on the Bluegrass Sports Network. We've had a busy week this week. We covered soccer on Monday and volleyball on Tuesday, soccer again on Thursday, football Friday, and tonight we're back on the soccer field. Next week we've got several volleyball games. We're going to be in Anderson County for senior night against Washington County. Then we got Western Hills Frankfort High in volleyball. Frankfort High is not able to use their gym, so every game has been away.
Oh, my goodness.
But thankfully we're going to be able to see them over at Western Hills. And then we're also looking to try to, like I said, either be at Woodford County for their matchup against Frankfort High, or maybe back here for Western Hills versus Pineville on Friday night. So we're pretty sure we'll be able to catch some football action. So we're going to update that schedule once we kind of get everything finalized. But you can find our schedule if you hit our website at www.kybsn.com. Up top on the toolbar, you can find schedule, and you can also hit our live link, and that'll show you what we have live or upcoming.
And I think, you know, it's just great in this COVID world where spectators are limited in being able to have access to the game. I just think it's great that the BSN is able to provide these matches and bring it as close to normal as we can for these families and people that follow the high school sports in the area.
And we're excited about highlighting these young men too, you know, especially for sports like soccer and volleyball and that maybe don't get as much of that opportunity. You see there that deep cross, and Vermillion tried to make a spectacular play and wasn't able to connect there.
He was trying to channel his inner Cristiano Ronaldo there, I think.
Yeah, if we see one of those,
that'll make the highlight reel, I think, Bo.
Yeah, I think it would make the power plays of the game, the Bluegrass Energy power plays of the game for sure. We've got a couple of them already, so I'm sure we're going to have. There's a nice little turn.
Nice footwork there.
Nathan Neal trying to get on that ball there, and Vermillion's going to pick it up. He's got some space. He tried to pick out Adam Gritton, but ball comes right back to him. Nice slide tackle there late. I don't know.
Oh, I think we're going to get another card here because I don't know. Well, he's not going to bring the card out on that one, but
no, I don't think
that was a good hard foul.
Yeah, and I think he was trying to play ball there. There's a difference between a two-hand shove in the back and.
You know, in the past, we always saw Reed McClavick take these and deadly from this range.
It's a new day in Frankfort High soccer. Reed is sorely missed. Incredible player, had a great career. It looks like Ethan Vermillion is going to step up and take this free kick. I thought Ty Hancock may, but he's taking a shot.
It's a good catch
and it
by
was
Meyer.
On frame, but good save there by Matthew Meyer. Good strong hands, and he's going to try to early punt, which he doesn't have a whole lot of help up there. He might want to wait and let his team get up the field a little bit.
Right. You know, it's just one of those things when you're playing a man down, they're playing much more defensive-minded right now.
Here's Nathan Neal. This is the second time he's found a little pocket. He's trying to hit it out wide here to Gritton, but he is offside. The referee hasn't seen it yet, but he will.
Yeah.
And there he goes. He blows his whistle, so free kick.
It's amazing how the crowd always helps him with offsides. The flag's up, and the referee is in his normal check-throughs will find it.
Yeah. I'll tell you, I hadn't refereed for like 6 months, and I went out and did a game the other day, and I never once looked at my ARs. It was like I'd forgotten the habit, and I got yelled at by a few parents to look at my AR, and we're getting back into the flow of things just like the players and the coaches. It's Nathan Neal again.
Frankfort's doing a good job of exploiting that gap between the holding midfielder and the back four, and time again you're seeing space for Ethan Vermillion. I'm expecting to see a goal come out of that, because Western Hills has got to make some adjustments to stop that, because they're giving one of the better players in the region just a free shots to either pick out a pass or take a rip.
Nathan Neal has been able to find that pocket a little bit, and Verm is sitting in just behind him in that 10 position. And they've had Gritton out wide, they've had Tyron Reynolds out wide, but they really haven't been able to deliver anything from those wide areas.
No, and I think we saw Western Hills really use the wings and the width of the field early on, but right now the game from Frankfort's perspective has been right through the hash marks of the football field.
Goal kick, Frankfort High.
My daughter's texting me, telling me, "Hey, Dad, you need to turn the timer on. You keep forgetting to turn the timer on." I apologize for that. I'm trying to run the computer and talk. We wanted to give Clint Goins a night off. He did a soccer game this morning in Anderson County. We weren't able to do that live, but we're going to put that up as a tape-delayed event.
And that was Western Hills'
man,
first loss.
It was a great game. Western Hills hit the post a couple times, and very evenly matched. Anna Williams, the big center back for Anderson County, was just wonderful all day cleaning up. Ella Davis had a couple chances, and Anna Williams just stepped up to the challenge. So yeah, Western Hills, that's a tough loss, but that's a good Anderson County team. The record doesn't really show it. They've had a tough schedule. They've played Franklin County, Woodford County. So that's a good win for them. Adam Gritton, big left-footed cross. It looked like Nathan Neal was in there, and wow.
Big collision in the back.
Big collision, and I got to be honest with you, I don't see Matthew Meyer moving. Feet are moving, so I think he's
So we've got a player down, Matthew Meyer, senior goalkeeper.
Looks like Coach Mangum's going to jump on. Let's take a quick break, and we'll jump right back here on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
All right, welcome back. We're at Western Hills High School. Goalkeeper Matthew Meyer, senior, 4-year starter for the Wolverines, is down. Ball got played in from a wide area by Adam Gritton. I know Nathan Neal was going up for the header, but I think he actually maybe collided with his own player.
No, I think that's exactly what happened. He hit his own center back.
And so he's down. He is moving, but I think we want to, player health and player safety is the primary concern here.
Well, and I think he got knocked off balance and may have hit his head on the turf. So, with the precautions of concussions that you're seeing in the soccer world right now, that they're going to make sure that everything's okay with Matthew before they try and get him off the field.
Absolutely, and that's what we want for Matthew. He's a solid goalkeeper, great kid. So we definitely want to see him back out here, but we want to see him back out here in a healthy point of view. And if we can move over to the sideline. We can see who's warming up over there. It looks like it's none other than Kenyon Thomas, who you might know a little bit, you might know a little bit.
You know, Kenyon, a sophomore, has been a goalkeeper for his club team for the last few years and was on the JV team last year for Western Hills as a keeper. And this year has been playing field, but, you know, in district games and the keeper gets hurt, sometimes you got to change jerseys and put on the gloves, and let's see what happens when he gets between the sticks.
Yeah, well, I think he's ready to go. This is good to see. We're seeing Matthew Meyer is walking off the field in his own accord, gingerly, of course. After that, that's a big hit he took, but hopefully he can catch his breath, and the medical personnel can check him out, and we can get him cleared. But it looks like Kenyon Thomas is going to step into the goal here.
What's interesting is that, you know, Kenyon's kind of been doing double duty, practicing for goalkeeping for his club team while also practicing with the team in the field for the high school. So we'll see how rested he comes out in actual games.
And I assume these are his first minutes on the season?
Yes, it is.
As a goalkeeper.
It is.
So, hey, man, not a big task here. Just come in, down a man, big district matchup, tied 1-1.
Well, you could tell how excited he was because he doesn't even have a keeper jersey on at this point.
Well, so I think he was hoping he could put on the away jersey and
get away with it.
I think they're saying the black jersey is a little too tight, too color, you know, matching to the green. So now they put him
in the U6 goalkeeper
he's got
uniform.
What we call the penny. Hopefully it's been washed because they usually have quite the stench. I think in the COVID world, the happiest folks are the players who wear the pennies because they're getting washed.
That's right.
A lot. And but his first play is going to be a corner kick too. So I mean, again, this is a difficult spot to come in.
Well, and you know, it's funny. He played midfield in the first half and goalkeeper second half.
They play the ball out here to Ty Hancock. He gets an angle, but his cross gets a little bit away from him. I don't think he's going to be real happy with that. Adam Gritton somehow keeps that ball in play. And they are out here. This is Lucas Nance with a little bit of space.
He's going to try and get a head full of steam here, and that's a good tackle by Vermillion.
That was a good tackle. There's a lot of you know,
a lot of
fans.
hand play.
Well, there's a lot of fans too that don't really like that, and I think that's the second or third foul on Vermillion. I think he's getting a little frustrated. Unfortunately, all he needs to do, and that was a yellow card for Raul Hernandez.
And you know, we saw as we followed Vermillion down the field, we saw he had a little interaction with Lucas Nance, then a little hand check action there, and then you had Raul Hernandez come in hard. And
well, so Ethan is a tremendous player. He's got a lot of quick speed, but he has that knack for it's just tough to get loose from him. And he's always, you know, flying into tackles. And so Hancock's going to take this free kick. He'll probably try to loft it on top of the PK spot, and he does. That's a pretty good ball. Gritton's going to try to keep it in.
Oh, that's good defense there.
That is good defending, and that's
Lincoln Maddox. I mean
the man, the myth, the Maddox.
I'm telling you, if you had to name an MVP for this Western Hills team so far, it's going to have to be Lincoln Maddox.
Yeah, he gets called for a foul there. He got a little over anxious on that tackle, and this is one of those spots where you can play it in a tight angle. You got a new goalie on the field. He's an experienced goalie, but hasn't been playing it recently. Vermillion stepping up. I have a feeling you're going to see him. He's going to want to try to get this on frame.
I think he's going to try and go short side here to that near post. We'll see what happens. Right to the keeper.
He had a guy flying in front of him, though, so that's a good save. Good early distribution. But again, you know, this is a situation where you see Western Hills doesn't have anywhere to go. They don't have
that outlet of Sutley up there.
You know, they have a difficult time getting out. Now, once they've gotten out, they've been able to do something with it. That's where I think Frankfort High just needs to play a little faster.
Well, and you know, it's one of those things.
That's a good ball into.
We're in an interesting situation for Western Hills.
Play.
They've lost their top goal scorer. who is out on a red card. And then you end up with Raul Hernandez with the yellow card. He's off the field now. Kenyon Thomas, who scored 2 goals, is now your goalkeeper. So you've lost pretty much your offensive thrust for the season.
I'm sure Hernandez will be back in quickly. It looks like we've got a substitution waiting. He's not the one, but Vermillion trying to connect with Nathan Neal.
Oh, nice footwork there by Fricker. He's going to lead the offense. Got to push down with Zach Hurst coming down the left wing, trying to keep the ball in, but he's going to lose that battle.
Yeah, the ball rolls long for a goal kick, and we will have a substitution, though.
We've got 28 minutes left in this barn burner. 1-1. More action than typical in a 1-1 game.
Well, we've definitely had our fair share of cards.
Looks like Baylor Brooker has come in. He's going to come in on that right wing, replacing Lucas Nance. Look at the space that Frankfort has right now, because Western Hills playing down a man is not going to press that deep into territory of Frankfort.
This is McLean Barber, a good step there by Fricker. He's been very active. You know, and that's a tough spot, being in that midfield, being down a man. That's a good little combination there. And Vermillion once again.
That's still, you know, that's a foul from an area that's just a little out of range.
Yeah, I know. I mean, you stick a leg out and he's flying by you.
Yep.
And the margins for error there for a defender are small. So I think this is probably outside the range.
Yeah, I think you're going to look at that chip come in again. No, he tries to drive it through the wall.
He's got Lawrence Allen out here. He's going to try to turn. He did.
I think we got.
He's not going to be happy with that. He's not going to be happy with that. From here, it looked like it was in.
You know, and what most folks do not realize is the entire ball has to go across the line. And, you know, from here we've got a little bit of a distorted view, but it looked like it was still in play.
Well, and a lot of times you can see, you know, as a referee, you look for the green in between is what we call it, you know. The ball is usually a white color. Here the lines are black, so I think it makes it a little more difficult. But usually you look for that green in between.
Once again, it's Vermillion and Fricker. They have really taken this battle to that next level. Fricker, who's been fighting injuries most of the season, has been out there for most of this game. And, you know, it's good to see him healthy and playing hard against Vermillion there. And you'll see them as we're not even in play, and yet they're still adjusting each other's position on the field by subtle pushes.
Preston Barber, number 7, has joined the game. He's taking the throw in, left back, replaces Lucci Allen.
Yeah, we got 2 Barber boys on the team for Frankfort.
Yeah, Superintendent Houston Barber, his 2 boys. He's got a 3rd boy named Parker, and he's got a young lady named Kinsey, so he's got a house full. And
he's got his own school district starting there, right?
He does. He does. I'm sure he's here somewhere, and I'd say he's probably getting a little nervous now, you know.
You'll see what Western Hills is trying to do. They're sending up people just to try to keep some action going. Jack Caldwell being one. You're looking for high energy from the people that are up top for Western Hills. And
Frankfort High is just not breaking that line very easily.
No.
You know, they're trying to do these little square passes. Vermillion about 25 out.
I think that, you know, they're trying to be too pretty with the ball. You know, they're looking for the perfect goal. And I think sometimes, especially when you have a man advantage, you just got to drive it down and start putting some shots on frame.
Here's an early win from a ball digs out to Nathan Neal, and he couldn't quite play Ethan Vermillion in.
Not a good sign for Western Hills as Lincoln Maddox comes up limping after that last play. I think he may have caught some studs on his ankle.
It's a good win by Carpenter, Ethan Carpenter. Tyron Reynolds plays him back in. Carpenter tried to squeeze it through. I'm not sure if that's a goal kick. Looks like they're going to call that a throw-in.
Throw-in. I think that was accurate.
I mean, a corner kick. It wouldn't have been a goal kick, but 23, just under 24 minutes remaining here at Western Hills. Still tied 1-1. Second half has been scoreless. Even though Western Hills is playing with a man down, they had a senior striker, Wade Sutley, red carded with about 15 minutes to go, 20 minutes to go in the first half. We're pretty sure it was for some language, but we're not 100% sure. Brad, as you mentioned, the KHSAA has kind of placed a point of emphasis on language. And so the nature, there was no foul, so the nature of the straight red leads you to believe. Hancock trying to get the ball into the middle of the field. They've been trying to work through Nathan Neal and Ethan Vermillion. This is Preston McLean Barber looking for Tyron Reynolds.
But you know, Bo, the thing I keep seeing out of this is that they're still not using the width of the pitch to their advantage. They keep going through the compact areas where Western Hills really has their players stacked up.
Well, and they haven't really gotten anything out of the wings. You know, you haven't seen their outside backs get up as high as you normally do, and their outside wings haven't really gotten into a position where you would say one-on-one situations where you have a chance to go at the player.
That's a great attempt there by Vermillion.
You can see Vermillion wants it, and he's got a nose for that ball. It's a good little punt there, gets over Preston Barber's head.
I think you're seeing a lot of strategic punts coming out of Thomas in the goal there. That's a great play by Zach Hurst.
He's going to try to connect. He's got Fricker with him.
That's Joey Kurtzinger getting the ball up to Zach Hurst.
That's McLean Barber with the tackle. He's got Nathan Neal. See, here's a place I think you could switch the ball here. Go the other way with it. He's going to go back to Tyron Reynolds. Well done there by Thomas coming off his line, and he's going to early distribute to Lumpkins. That's Joey Kurtzinger again, back to Lumpkins. It's Nathan Neal, senior Nathan Neal, tracking back from his 9 position.
Fricker trying to get the ball pushed up to.
But they've got some numbers here, so that's that's an opportunity for them and for Frankfort High, because now you get through. They only got 3 guys back.
Yeah, this is where you're going to see a tactical play by Western Hills, and they were able to stop Vermillion.
Nathan Neal cuts it back to him, though. And once again, the man, the myth, the Maddox. And now you got Raphael Fricker 1-on-3. He's just spraying it.
Look at who's the one that's pressing the ball.
Like you said, he has just been everywhere. And he's going to win a coin, and that pressure is going to help win a throw-in. And once again, the guys in white and orange are just playing a tad bit too slow in the back.
And, you know, you talk about that endurance. You saw Lincoln essentially ran the length of the field to put pressure on the goalkeeper. You know, he's famous for his fitness that he's in right now. I know he goes to soccer practice and runs 10 miles afterwards.
I ain't run 10 miles this month.
You know, it's amazing to see the work he's putting in. He plans on joining the Armed Forces after school, and he's already ready for basic training.
Well, he's definitely showing it, and you were right on the money with your pregame call that he was a difference maker.
You know, we got 20 minutes left.
When you have the man, the myth, the Maddox, it's like you have an extra player.
That's exactly right.
Now they have 11.
You know, 20 minutes left, a lot of game to be played, but right now Frankfort has not been using that player advantage.
Got to move faster, guys. Guys in white, it's got to move faster for them. That's a good little ball trying to hit.
And he was offsides, so.
Yeah, he'll see it here in just a second. But I think the ball's just got to move faster. I know I keep saying that.
You see, Western Hills has kind of changed their strategy, too. They ended up with 6 in that back line on that play. So I think they're essentially putting a man on an island up top, and hopefully they can get a counter of some type.
This is Rudick trying to get it out wide here to Baylor Brooker. Preston Barber is able to win there.
It's Joey Kurtzinger up, number 11. Casey Smith putting the pressure on the ball now. They're trying to share that responsibility of who's pressing.
This is Gritton. He's got a little space to turn.
But, you know,
That's
with
Vermillion.
Western Hills, with so many players back.
Yeah, look at that.
If you do not have the quick passes, you are not going to get through that many players.
And even the guys they have stepping forward right now, he's got Stefan Rudick, which looks like he's playing kind of an attacking midfielder role, but he spends a lot of time in the back four. So
yeah, he's traditionally a center back for Western
His job
Hills.
is probably to pressure and then drop.
Yep.
Pressure and then drop. The ball out here to Tyron Reynolds. Can he 1v1 situation?
That's a good ball from Vermillion. Let's see if he can catch up with it. No, it doesn't look like it.
He's getting a little too much.
Vermillion's still trying to think pass first. I think at a certain point you're going to start seeing him pull the trigger a little bit more and try and put this team on his back to bring home a victory.
Yeah, no, I agree. Raul Hernandez is going to re-enter the game for the Wolverines. Goal kick. It's going to be collected there by Vermillion. But just a really bad giveaway. And Vermillion had that guilty look, but no
sure
whistle.
Had that look like he got caught doing something, but no foul called.
Checking in for Frankfort High, number 2, Carter Gilbert.
Carter Gilbert re-enters the game for Frankfort. Long throw to no avail for Frankfort there. Raul Hernandez with it, looking for Casey Smith out in front. He's got a head full of steam. Let's see what happens.
Higbee on there. He's trying to defend. He gets to that right foot. Carpenter with a really, that's
nice
a great
play
touch.
And we got another, looks like an extra point for Western Hills there. That was a good offensive series there for Western Hills. You saw them get that push up. It's that
you see
counter.
Coach K immediately respond with Ashton Austin. He's one of the 3 center backs that they use, and he's got tremendous speed, so he covers. But there's Rudick
again.
Couldn't quite
shot
finish.
Wide.
Shot by Rudick goes wide.
You know, that's the dream of those defenders, the guys that typically play center back, to be out in front, and had a chance for glory, but just a little bit wide.
Yep, he definitely did. But he's playing well up there, and he's caused a lot of problems.
He's playing very smart. He's picking his spots to jump in and making things happen.
We got just over 15 and a half minutes. Ashton Austin did join us. He replaced Henry Higbee. Ethan Vermillion's again trying to find some space. He's got Tyron Reynolds out wide.
Josh Lumpkins closing quickly.
That's a pretty good cross. I think Ritten had time maybe to take a touch, but he went with the one-time volley, and that's a tough finish. Quick distribution again out here to Brooker.
You know, on that shot that Gritton took, it's so hard to get on top of the ball from a volley like that, and you know, it's really about technique at that point.
Vermillion's got to be careful. He's already got a yellow card. He doesn't want to get a second yellow, especially when they have to go to LCA tomorrow.
That's right. Ridge with a great kick up.
I think the ball was still moving potentially.
That's an interesting call there from the referee. Typically when you start playback quickly, they expect the ball to be stopped. And Ridge will take it again and push it up. Western Hills had a good little run at that ball, and then we had to come back to the restart. Caleb Stratton with a good play there.
Out wide, he's matched up with Austin. He's trying to get to that byline.
Casey Smith trying to put the team on his back right here. He's had some good runs down that left side.
That's well done there by McLean Barber to win that tackle, and Tyron Reynolds trying to connect it with Nate Neal. And McLean Barber was looking for, I think, that quick ball out to Tyron.
Here comes Baylor Brooker. Charging on.
It's
a corner kick.
That's an interesting play there by Yoakum. He could have played the ball out for a throw-in.
Right. That indecision, and, you know, it's one of those things that you had the press on by Brooker, and Baylor made a good play to put some hustle into it.
Checking in for the Wolverines, number 3, Jack Caldwell.
We got another conference here between the AR and the referee.
You know, it's really unusual when you see that. If you watch a lot of soccer on TV with professionals, they all do that via mics. So in high school, not that fancy, so they actually have to get together and communicate.
Yeah, these guys definitely don't get paid enough to invest in that material. That's a good cross.
That's some good look there. Josh Lumpkins is going to kick from distance and get even more distance behind the goal.
But there you see, you know, that little mental breakdown leads to a corner kick. Dangerous ball.
Right.
If Ethan Vermillion doesn't get a touch on that, Western Hills had 2 guys crashing. So
quick restart there by Frankfort.
Yeah, Carter Gilbert looking to connect with Tyron Reynolds. Josh Lumpkin steps for a clearance.
And if you've noticed, since the sun started going down, the wind has died here at Frankfort or at Western Hills.
The temperatures are dropping too.
Yeah, you glad you wore those shorts and flip-flops again?
Absolutely.
Hey, if you're going to go with something, commit to it, Bo. Commit to it.
Absolutely, you're right. It's good to be here, though. 12 minutes left. We're at Western Hills High School on the brand-new turf complex. Western Hills, Frankfort High tied 1-1. District 41 matchup.
It's been a heavyweight battle. You know, both sides have taken blows.
Absolutely, and if we do end tied at regulation, we'll go to 2 5-minute sudden deaths, and if we're still tied then, we'll go to shootout. Number 8, Colby Craycraft, has entered the game. He sprays it out wide to Tyron Reynolds. He's got Nathan Neal. Couldn't quite connect with him, though.
Stratton there trying to clean it up. Makes a nice move.
And a clearance. Carter Gilbert has time here to settle. He's trying to hit Vermillion. Good step there from.
But once again, you know, it's going to take something special for Frankfort to score here just based on the quantity of players that Western Hills has back.
Gritton tries to take a left footer, and he pulls it wide. So we got a goal kick.
Goal kick for the Wolverines.
And the clock continues to tick close to 11 minutes.
Looked like a handball there that wasn't called.
He's going to Hancock. He's got Preston Barber out wide, but he just underhit that. Again, you know, the little things haven't been there for the Panthers.
There's trying to be a little too fine, it seems, you know, trying to make the perfect pass.
I agree.
Checking in for the Panthers, number 29, McLean Barber.
I will say the pace of the game has definitely slowed down the second half, and the crowd has really quieted down as well.
We have a little tactical switch here. McLean Barber enters the game for Nate Neal, and you see that Verm has now stepped into that 9 role. That's going to be a card. And that's a follow-up.
That may be
a red. He's going to the back pocket. He's switched to the front pocket. I think he thought better of it.
I'm surprised that you're still seeing this aggressive behavior from both teams. The crowd keeps asking for a red card.
I don't know how you would just red one because they both were going at it. So he's talking to both of them. So he's going to stop the clock.
9:41 on the clock, and
I stopped it a little earlier.
It seems like we've had more discussions during this game than we've had the entire season.
It's been an interesting night, and I don't know if he just came in. He came in with a really tight whistle. You know, he gave Lawrence Allen a card immediately. Did he show a card?
I didn't see a card.
That's an interesting thing. You know, it was a two-hand shove on both of them.
Right. That was a card for Hernandez earlier. So consistency, you know, as a referee, that's the term that you always want to hear when somebody's describing your body of work. And I will say that right now, just based on what we've seen, not real consistent with the calls.
Well, while we got a break here, I just want to highlight Charles T. Mitchell one more time. They were our first Frankfort sponsor to join us here on the Bluegrass Sports Network. Frankfort-based sponsor, and we're very appreciative of the crew down at Main Street. They take care of small businesses, big businesses, individual.
Dangerous play here with Vermillion.
In. He's one-on-one. Is he going to be? And that's a great save from
Canyon Thomas.
That is a great save from Canyon Thomas.
That was right down the barrel for Vermillion,
and he got his head up and
tried to pick out the spot above Canyon.
That training, Canyon Thomas, nicely done. And he's getting the Superman music. I don't know if they can hear that on air, but
I'm not sure that they recognize it. The players, that's a little bit before their time, though.
Got a corner kick here. That's Ty Hancock taking it. He's driving it in low. It gets through. Good little clearance there. Stefan Rudick in. He's been very good. And that's Casey Smith.
Oh, that's going to be a card, because that was once again shocked by it.
Yeah. I think he's saying that's incidental, but
that was a purposeful.
Felt like the leg came up a little bit.
And you had an opportunity for, if it was further down the field. He's giving a card to Chad Mangum now, to the bench. I hate to be critical of officials, but I think he has definitely lost control of this game. And it happened here.
Well, he started very early being with a short whistle, and we've had too much talking. We've just had too much talking. And, I know it's a district game. I know it's a crosstown rivalry. I know these games are always tight, and you're trying to, you want to step on that early. But he stepped on it early, and now he's kind of stepping off of it. And so that's where the coaches get frustrated.
Right. It's all about consistency from the officials.
So I finally got my scorebug clock to match the clock here at the facility. It looks like he's going to add some more time, though. 7:58, he says. So we're going to go back to 7:58. He's also getting some pointers from the parents down here from both sides. That's the interesting thing about coming to these high school games. Like last night, the football game, I don't think any of the parents were actually happy, either side, with the officiating, So
Lincoln Maddox chips the ball up for Jack Caldwell.
It's a good little first touch there. He's trying to connect with Lucas Nance.
Lucas Nance fight through.
That's a good tackle. I think it was a good tackle. But it was a blind tackle, which is dangerous. He had kind of turned his back a little bit, but he got a lot of ball.
He did. A very, very dangerous play for
his body shape was not good. Hancock's going to try to clear. He's got Adam Gritton coming down the left. He's going to try to take it. You got Berm coming down the middle. Craycraft trailing. He's going to keep it himself. He's taking a shot. It was right at Canyon Thomas. And
Canyon trying to turn it up for Casey Smith. Coming down the wing, it's going to be Casey versus the entire free world, it seems like, 1 versus 5. But he's able to find Lucas Nance in space, and Nance loses his footing there, but able to maintain the ball.
And he's trying to earn a foul, and he's going to earn a foul.
He is going to earn the foul there.
And this is a very dangerous spot for the Wolverines.
The official, once again, getting very animated with his call there. I think he's feeling some heat.
The guys on the clock just played the hallelujah sound. I think they feel like they finally got a call here.
I'm anxious to see who's going to take this free kick for Western Hills, because it is in prime spot for a shot at goal.
Looks like Raul Hernandez is going to step over.
I'm going to be honest, I've watched Raul play for many years. I can tell you this is not going to be a chip. Raul's going to rip this, but once again, we're waiting as there's a full conversation going on here with our officials.
And they're asking someone to back up, I think. I'm not exactly sure. talking about parents. Maybe someone said something.
I think they're trying to figure out what's for dinner afterwards. You know, I think it was an argument between Cookout or Arby's at this point.
My vote. Well, those are good spots. I can't.
Yeah.
Both of those spots.
Arby's wins, I think.
Yeah, I like the French dip. It's one of my favorite.
I'm telling you, Arby's.
I think we had another clock change. You know, I'm not doing very well at it anyways, and then we keep changing the time.
Raul's going to take a lick at this one, and it's just a bit outside, as they like to say. He was 20 yards out, and he missed the goal by at least 20.
Here's a quick distribution. Preston Barber, he's going to look to go down line, but he just plays that out. And
couldn't find grit in there.
They just haven't been able to connect enough passes. I can't believe that. I mean, I think Coach K is going to be, if he gets to watch the film, he's going to be a little frustrated that they didn't connect as many passes. But here comes Verm on the outside.
Lincoln Maddox once again cleaning it up.
Looks like I thought it looked like the whistle had gone to mouth, but no call.
Caleb Stratton with the clearance there. Let's see if we can get the ball out.
That's Gritton trying to collect it.
Gritton's just being very gritty there. And once
I think
again,
he wanted a call, and he didn't get a call.
No calls.
Again, no one's happy, it doesn't feel like.
Well, it's becomes such a chippy game.
And an early shot there from Hancock from distance. It was not a bad idea because Thomas had kind of, that's what happened this morning in the Anderson County game. The Franklin Western Hills goalie just kind of like got, you see the play and you start to kind of step forward, and then all of a sudden it was a quick shot from distance and had just that perfect loft on it, and Carson Graves couldn't quite get back to it. It was a little bit unfortunate for her because she played a great game. But a little bit miscommunication there.
Both teams have, after the red card, have kind of fallen off the game. We played at a very high level at the beginning of this game, but once the red card hit, everything went out the window. It just became a kickball game at that point.
This is a big switch looking out here for Preston Barber. He's going to get on the end of it. Can he keep it in play? Yes, he's going to get around the corner, too. He's trying to cut it back. No one's there, though.
Jack Caldwell cleaning up the mess. We're at 4:18 left to go in the second half.
Carter Gilbert puts it back in there, and this is Hancock trying to connect with McLean Barber.
This is one of those games where both teams came in undefeated. Sadly, somebody's going home tonight with their first loss. It's just going to be, are we going to do it in regulation, or are we going to have to go to some extra time and potentially
ball put in there, and another.
That was a circus shot.
Circus shot, yeah. That's a couple times where I think they'd be better served trying to lay it off to a teammate or bring it down, and bring it down. You're in the box. If you get clipped in the heels, just go down.
It's Jack Caldwell with a big kick out here to Lucas Nance, but he was on an island with nobody else around him.
Vermillion's got two guys on him. Little indecision there, and gives away the ball.
Zach Hurst, nice little play. Raul Hernandez with the ball now. Frankfort quick to try and close him down.
Frankfort's trying to pressure here.
Lincoln Maddox going to come in and clean it up again.
He's going to let it ride, but I thought that was a deflection.
I did too.
3 minutes remaining on the clock, 1-1. If we're still tied, stick with us. We'll have 2 5-minute sudden deaths. Or at least 2 5-minute sudden deaths. Sudden death being it could end in a minute, but we have to have a winner tonight.
That's right. 5 minutes is just not a lot of time.
It's not a lot of time, but if you only have 10 players on the field, it probably feels like a long time. This is Vermillion out on space here. He's going to try.
I think it's one of those things where he's just trying to put the team on his back. And
those are difficult. I think, again, you're 1 or 2 passes away. They had this problem a little bit at Franklin County. They got to the edge of the final third, but just had a difficult time. And, Thursday night it proved to be a super individual pass from Ty Hancock. So I don't know if the Panthers have anything left.
I think it comes down to the fact that you're not seeing a lot of movement once they get to the final third. You're getting the ball to Vermillion, and he's looking, got his head up, and nobody's making the runs. And
Carter Gilbert there out wide to Carpenter, and we're back to Reynolds here. He plays the ball back to Ashton Austin. He's trying to play. That's a good little ball into Reynolds, but
Caleb Stratton clearing that up.
And he's going to pick up a foul, and looks like both of them are.
It looks like some knee-on-knee action there.
Yeah, neither one of them asking to come out of the game. We're down to 1:40 on the clock.
You see Western Hills has pretty much put Lucas Nance up here at the top. It's going to be Lucas versus 5 Frankfort players.
Good win there from Carter Gilbert. Hancock to Vermillion. Vermillion got Raul. He's tried to lay it off. Hancock, he's got Preston Barber out wide if he wants to give him a shot. He doesn't. He's trying to go alone.
Craig Badger with a good tackle there, trying to find Lucas Nance.
Gilbert's going to let it run for a throw in. He's got a long throw in. He could probably hit Vermillion, and he does.
And Lincoln Maddox
with
right
a nice
on him.
little. That's a nice little. And he gets the shot off, but right at the keeper. And
I think Gagnon's going to lay on that one for a little bit.
I would definitely do that. The pressure has definitely been picked up here. Craycraft with the win here. Preston Barber plays it back to Carter Gilbert.
We've got 40 seconds left.
This is McLean. He's trying to turn. He's got Tyron Reynolds out wide. He's going to try to get to that left to serve one in. It's a good service, but a header clear.
Down to 25 seconds left.
Tyron Reynolds got around the edge, puts a dangerous ball. Not so dangerous.
I think that's going to probably do it, as they'll take their time with this goal kick.
Yeah, we're down into 10 seconds. No one's moving too quickly. Looks like we're headed to at least one first of 2 5-minute sudden deaths. And we are.
That horn brings full time. And your score, Frankfort High 1, Western Hills 1.
As you heard the PA announcer, 1-1. We're going to take a quick break. We'll be back with some free soccer tonight.
All right.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
All right, folks. We are back on the Bluegrass Sports Network. We're at Western Hills High School.
So we're still waiting for the second half to begin. Or, I'm sorry, the first overtime. Dealing with a little bit of technical difficulties here, but we're working our way through them. In this game, a 1-1, there was definitely been some technical difficulties in the soccer world because we had a great matchup happening in the early parts, then a red card comes, and then both teams forget how to play soccer, it seems like.
Well, you know, anytime we're in one of these district matchups, it feels like things get a little bit squirrely.
Yep.
This is going to go down as the 4th time out of 5 that this is going to be a 1-goal game.
Yep.
I will say that unlike the Franklin County Frankfort High where they had split the last 6, Western Hills, I think, has gone 4 or 5 years without getting a win against the Frankfort High Panthers. So
that's right. You know, they last year they were 3-10-3, so they had a rough run last year, and this year the odds have changed in their favor, and they've come into this game 4-0. But
yeah, they've, and I mean, quite honestly, they played an entire half plus down a man. They created chances. I felt like Frankfort High started to add some pressure and turn the screw a little bit there in the last 5 to 7 minutes. They clearly have that one-man advantage. Fatigue has to start to come into play.
Yep, and you'll notice that Mangum typically goes pretty deep with his bench, but he has really tightened up on who's out there on the field in this situation.
Let's do a quick reset. We're 1-1. We keep talking about Western Hills playing down a man. They had a red card and about 20 minutes left in the first half. Lance Sutley was red carded, so they've played the remainder of the game. Then their starting goalkeeper collides with what we believe was his own center back on a dangerous ball in. He leaves the field. Kenyon Thomas comes on for his first minutes, a sophomore, his first minutes of the year as a goalkeeper, and was pretty active back there because, as we just talked about, Frankfort High, it felt like they started to turn that screw a little bit.
Yeah, you started seeing some shots, but, you know, a lot of those shots were right at the keeper. He really didn't get challenged too much.
But he made a big save, 1v1, yep. Ethan Vermillion. That's going to probably be the power play of the game if they win this game, right?
Right. You know,
I mean, that keeps them in it. If that goes in, this game's probably over. And you're not going to see Vermillion miss shots like that. It was inside the box, had his head up, had time to play it, and so great save. Well, you know, so I don't think we take anything away from that.
Yeah, it's one of those reaction type saves. You know, and that really is been the difference. Is that was their real chance to score.
Well, Western Hills is making their way back out onto the field. Frankfort High is, I think Western Hills will get, I think they'll get first kick, but I'm not sure. They might have redone the coin toss, to be honest with you.
Well, what's interesting is Kenyon Thomas going back in the goal. He was in the yellow penny to start the second half, so comes out on.
He clearly doesn't believe in like mojo or you know.
No, he went for purple for the overtime session. So
yeah,
you know, he's back to U6 goalkeeping with his penny on there.
Back when I played, if I had a good game, man, the underwear stayed. You know, I didn't change nothing. Socks, underwear, undershirt. If I had a rubber band on my wrist, I needed whatever.
That's right. And you better sleep the same way you slept the night before, right?
Absolutely. So you can see the players are switching sides. The goalkeepers get a little 100-yard jog in.
Yeah. You know, it's interesting coaching strategies here. You had Brad Kennedy put his team out. They've been out on the field standing there waiting for a while. Western Hills came out a little later. So you got Western Hills. Looks like Jack Caldwell's going to get kicked. Nope, it's going to be Frankfort. I'm sorry.
Frankfort High with the kick. I think they redo the coin toss just like they're starting over. And so we got 5 minutes. If we're still tied after this 5 minutes, folks, we'll go to one more 5 minutes. If we have a goal, good night.
It's good.
It's a walk-off goal, as you would say.
A golden goal.
A golden goal is what they used to call it. You know, folks in baseball know it as a walk-off.
And I'll tell you, whoever gets that's going to be the Bluegrass Energy power play of the night.
If we're still tied after 5 minutes, we head to PKs, and no one enjoys PKs worse than parents. And
that's right.
One of which might potentially be the goalkeeper.
Well, you know, from the way that I've always talked with my son, a goalkeeper, is the goalkeeper, there's no pressure on them.
They're not supposed to make the save.
No,
you're right.
If they stop one, they expect their team to win. And that's the mentality that you've got to take into it. I always say that goalkeepers and serial killers have a lot in common. They never think about the next one. And that's kind of the way you've got to look at it sometimes. You can't stand around worry about what just happened. You've got to look for that next shot.
Frankfort High cleared there for a throw in. Lucas Nance trying to connect. That's a nice throw in to Fricker.
I thought he was a little bit too adventurous with that, but he made it work.
He's playing it over the top. That was a ball from Raul Hernandez. And is that Lumpkins out wide?
It is Lumpkins. Looks like we're going to have a corner kick.
Yeah, and he has moved into more of a, I guess he's still playing that left wing.
Right, but he is really pushing up when opportunities present themselves.
So we're not quite halfway through, but as you mentioned, it doesn't take long for 5 minutes. It's not a, okay, it is a corner. They acted like they were taking a throw in. So this is a dangerous ball.
Corner taken by number 30.
And I would look for Frankfort to try and have a counter here if they gain possession.
They've got Vermillion up top. It's a good early header out by Preston Barber, but only as far as Hernandez.
Lumpkins again with the ball in.
He wanted a foul, I think, but looks like they're just going to get rewarded a throw in.
We're down to 2:35 in this first overtime.
Ball gets through, and it looks like Yoakum's going to be able to collect it.
And he's holding it.
He's taking his time.
And then his team didn't look like they were ready to receive the ball. It's been
that's
really
Hancock. See, that's just unforced errors. That's Craycraft with the win. He's got a little space here. He's spraying it out wide to Preston Barber.
Good stand up by the senior Craig Badger there. That's good defending.
The back four has done really well, especially under the circumstances.
Well, they're senior led back there, and
Craycraft was trying to play gritting through, but I think he was in offside position. So
we're already down to a minute 50 in this first overtime.
Yeah, you usually don't get maybe one chance, and Western Hills goes short. Hancock's header falls to Raul Hernandez, and he's going to go long. Good touch there from Carpenter to win back possession. If it looks the other way, he's got Hancock. Again, Hancock's touch got away from him a little bit. And he can pick that up since
nobody touched it.
Nobody touched it. He's going to roll it out to McLean Barber.
There's just no sense of urgency from either team at this point.
Yeah, I wonder if they're just kind of, I mean, they've got to be, even playing with 11, you got to have some tire. There's Craycraft again. He's trying to hit Nate Neal. That's a good little ball in.
And then Tyron just could not keep
His
it in.
touch let him down, yeah.
We're down to 50 seconds left in this first overtime. After this first overtime, we'll switch ends, I believe, and we'll just repeat.
It's a pretty quick break, I think. I don't even think the kids really leave the field. If we get to the PKs, then it'll be a longer break, and coaches will choose their 10.
Yeah, and you see the clear out there by Western Hills. Western Hills definitely in a defensive posture right now. I think
they got to be careful if they're going to get any numbers up, because the reward is great, but the risk is even greater.
Right.
And the chances that they're going to be able to put together, try to get it out wide here. There's 11 seconds. I think that's going to take us.
Yeah. I'd take my time there if I was Badger trying to get the ball in. And I think that'll do it for this first overtime, Bo.
All right, so we're through one overtime, still tied 1-1. We're going to have another extra time. Let's take a quick break. We'll be right back on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
All right, as we mentioned, there isn't much of a break in between these two extra periods.
It takes almost as much time to change ends of the field as the periods are.
It does. So we'll have 5 more minutes. If we're tied after this 5 minutes, we go to the spot, as they call it, kicks from the spot. Craycraft drops it there to McLean Barber. Good little step there by number 3. Is that Badger?
That is Jack Caldwell.
And
you see Lucas Hernandez.
Yeah, I think he led with that shoulder.
Yeah.
Going to be a free kick.
Yes, it's going to be. But you saw Western Hills really trying to get a quick punch in on Frankfort there, but unable to really get a shot on goal.
This is Adam Gritton. He's plays into Vermillion, and he was trying to get it back to Adam, and it rolls out for a throw-in for Frankfort High. 4 minutes and 15 seconds. Long throw from Carter Gilbert. No one's there, and Canyon Thomas will be able to collect. And he's going to look to go the opposite way to Lumpkins. Tyron just lets it run.
No.
He was trying to shield.
He was, and they got their legs kind of tied up.
You know, anytime you start shielding the defenders, they're going to push you in the back. I mean, they're trying to get there.
That's part of it. That's right.
So you kind of know that if you're going to try to shield it, you better.
He called a foul there.
No, he didn't.
That's what I thought.
I think Frankfort High is trying to kind of talk him into it, but it's going to be a throw-in.
Which is the proper call. That's
kind of turns into a
little bit ugly throw there, but
it wasn't. It was a little slow motion oriented, but I think it did go over the head.
Which it's kind of hard to not make it go over the head, but you'll see that every once in a while. That hesitation.
Absolutely. Plays into Kobe. He's got Craycraft. He's got
a good ball.
Ethan Carpenter out wide. He puts it into the box. Oh, and Ethan Vermillion was there.
Right.
But do we have a foul or?
No, I think it's a goal kick is what they're calling. You know, that was kind of that no man's land for a keeper. Ball in between.
Carpenter didn't quite, I don't think he hit it exactly how he wanted to, but it was like that lofted ball. I tried to play it back.
Good read there by Maddox.
Again, the man, the myth, the Maddox. I'm going to stick with it.
Oh, there's I think we're going to see a foul here.
Clock. Is he stopping the clock?
He hasn't stopped the clock at this point. He's keeping the clock on the field is what he's essentially said.
I'm going to stop it at 2:20. He's not going to give a card. The foul was on Ty Hancock, and it looked like he led with the arms.
Taking back Caldwell.
Lumpkins.
I think it was Fricker that got that.
Was it Fricker?
It was Fricker.
Apologize, Raphael. You're the one that took the shot. You should get the credit.
That's right.
He jumps up.
Once again.
One of the fans. You're missing a good game. You got to love fans. He has added time.
It's at 2:34.
2:34, so we'll get somewhat close to him here. 2 minutes and 20 seconds. If we don't have something in the next 2 minutes and 20 seconds, we're going to PKs, folks.
You know, and it's one of those things, if I remember correctly, Frankfort last year went to penalty kicks a couple of times, didn't they?
We went to penalty kicks. I say we, since my son's on the team. They lost in the Capital City Classic to Franklin County, and that was the only year. And then they lost in the district final to Great Crossing. 2 years ago, they went to 12 kicks in districts
against. My goodness. Western Hills last year didn't have a whole lot of experience with PKs.
So this is Preston Barber trying to connect out wide. McLean Barber on the ball here. As you can see, Western Hills has got a lot of numbers in there.
Yeah, it's going to take something spectacular at this point to score with that many players back.
Going to have a long throw in here from Carter Gilbert. He's got a good length on this throw in. And
he lifted his foot.
Throw goes to the Wolverines.
We're down to 1:15 left in this second overtime. Western Hills is in no hurry. I think they're at that point in this game where they're happy to make it to PKs after surviving a man down for essentially 60 minutes.
At least 60 minutes.
Well, you add the extra to 70 minutes.
It's been almost a full game at this point. They've almost played without him for an entire 2 halves. So
we're down to 50 seconds.
Plays the ball out wide. You got Hancock. He's going to get there. He's going to try to play Gritton. He's on the.
He's not going to call that at this point.
Yeah, he's not. And I'm not so sure it wasn't a foul, but.
You're not going to get that at this point.
This is Craycraft. He tries to get it out to Reynolds. We got 27 seconds, folks. He's going to.
Oh, he got heavy.
He's going to earn a corner. And we got 21 seconds.
Corner for the Panthers.
Let's see how.
We got 17 seconds.
And we're switching.
Hancock is running over. They're going to get it off. Here comes Ashton Austin. He plays
he
it
shot
deep.
It too far.
Oh, that was a good connection. They're calling for a handball.
Oh, I think you're going to get a card if he's not careful.
And that's going to put us into a shootout here at Western Hills High School. Wow, what a. Let's take a quick break. It's going to take a few minutes to get things organized. We'll be right back on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
All right, folks, welcome back. 40 or 80-minute regulation wasn't enough. 2 5-minute extra times wasn't enough. We are tied 1-1. We were going to go to 5 kicks from the spot. I'm not going to lie to you guys online. We don't have any graphics prepared for this. So we're just going to add to our score so that you guys can tell where we're at. But what a game. Western Hills has fought like Wolverines tonight.
I would agree with that, and is it going to have the Disney-esque ending? You've got a goalkeeper that came in from the midfield to replace the senior Matthew Meyer, Kenyon Thomas being the pipes for these PKs for Western Hills. You lost Wade Sutley to the red card, who I guarantee would have been the first 5 to shoot for Western Hills.
And you know what? I've also noticed, I don't know if it's due to injury but Chimney Tope hasn't played much. That's not normal. So I think his bench has gotten shorter and shorter. But the man, the myth, the Maddox has been everywhere. And has played well.
And I think it's more about his attitude with the way he plays. He's just not going to let his team lose. And, as this game has gone on, he's just put him on his back to keep the ball out and keep the pressure off of his goalkeeper.
You can see they're doing a coin toss to choose who gets to kick first, who gets to kick second, what goal they're going to use. While we're waiting for them to figure that out, we want to encourage you guys to go to our website. It's www.kybsn.com. We've actually created little pages for each of the schools. So if you go to our website, it'll say Find Your School. It's got every Western Hills game, every Frankfort High game, any Anderson County games we've done, along with Frankfort High, of course. And you can try to see whether it's basketball, hopefully in the winter, football, volleyball, soccer. You can find our schedule. And then you can also see our sponsors. And we just want to thank our sponsors. We've got Charles T. Mitchell in Frankfort. We have a few more in Anderson County, Anderson Apothecary, Century Bank, Hurricane Car Wash. We're very thankful for them. We're thankful for picking up Bluegrass Energy Power Cooperative this week. They're going to sponsor our highlight packages. We're going to try to do full game highlights. Sometimes it might just be a big goal. But those are going to be called the power plays of the game. So we're very thankful for Bluegrass Energy joining us. If you would like to sponsor us, on the website there's a contact us link. It'll send us an email. We'd love to talk to you. We'd also like to pick up more games, maybe Woodford County. So if you're watching from a distance and hey, you want us to come cover a big game, we'd love to do it. Give us an email, shoot us a message online.
Well, and if you're watching from somewhere tonight outside of Franklin County, give us a shout. We love to know how far the signal's traveling. So let us know if you happen to be at Iowa. Let us know.
Absolutely. Reed, if you're watching, we could have used you tonight, brother. Well, it looks like they've chosen the goal. They're going to go down kind of towards the Doctor's Drive end of the complex.
The Wolverine end for
Wolverine
with the new
end.
turf.
Absolutely. I hadn't paid attention to that. So the way this works is we'll have a guaranteed 5 shooters. All 5 shooters will kick. If we're still tied after 5 shooters, then we go to a sudden death situation.
I will tell you, as the father of a keeper, I think my son has a sick side to him. He loves penalty kicks. So we'll see if that bodes well. We'll see if he still loves it after 5.
I'm not sure I could be a father of a goalkeeper. Looks like Western Hills is going to shoot first.
You know, one thing that's nice about the turf is after a game like that, in the old days, the field would have been chewed up around the spot. So
is this Raul Hernandez?
It is Raul Hernandez taking the first one for Western
He's
Hills.
already put away 2 PKs on the year against Shelby County. He's taking quite a run up, too.
Yep.
Waiting on a whistle.
I think there's more power than finesse you're going to see.
And all of a sudden, it has gotten
deadly quiet.
Deadly quiet.
Oh, he has smoked it.
He smoked it over top, and so.
You know, and the thing about a penalty kick is it's about pressure. It's not necessarily about technique.
That first kicker is always a tough one because you're the first.
Right.
And there is that added pressure, and so that puts the Wolverines behind the 8 ball to start. But if you're going to miss one, you want to miss early.
That's right, because the pressure builds with each kicker.
All right, Ty Hancock up for Frankfort High, and he slots it.
Go Frankfort High.
And that was a very good PK. Bottom right corner for the keeper.
And I'm proud for that. I'm proud of that kid on a personal level. He missed the final kick against Great Crossings in the district final. Was devastated. You know, and you just hate that for kids, but it's really encouraging. I'm just proud of him for stepping
up to take the second kick for Western Hills.
All right, it's going to be senior Braden Lambert. He didn't play, right?
He did not play.
So this is another difficult thing to come into a game when you haven't played.
And he's a senior, so we'll see how he handles this pressure.
A little gamesmanship there from Yoakum.
And they're 2 for 2 on extra points, but sadly it's not on the scoreboard.
That is not the way you want to get it started. It looks like McLean Barber is going to be next up.
Up next for the Panthers, number 29, McLean
So now
Barber.
you're seeing more and more pressure on the keeper. Let's see what sophomore Kenyon Thomas has to say about the second kid.
Now he needs to save this one because, you know, if you go down 2 with just 3 kicks remaining, there's very little room for error. And he's on the wrong spot.
He's on the wrong spot, young man. So he has another.
Kenyon's like, hey, you already have an advantage.
That may tell you some of the experience he has with goal kicks, too.
Reed McClavick just texted me, said he's tapped in straight out of Iowa.
Well, I'm going to tell you, he's smiling right now because his Frankfort Panthers are up 2-0 in a PK shootout.
He's been in a few of these.
A few of them, that's right.
For the Wolverines, number 8, Raphael Fricker.
So it's 3-1 on our score bug. It's really 2-0 Western Hills after 2 rounds. We have 3 rounds remaining.
Yeah, Frankfort's is in the driver's seat right now. Fricker, he's going to have to bring this one home.
He needs to hit this one. Once again, you're seeing a little gamesmanship from Sam Yoakum just to add a little pressure.
Yep.
That glove's never quite taped tight enough.
Nope, and you've got to loosen up the knees and the shoulders. And Raphael's an experienced player, and he just drives it right in.
Wolverine.
No movement from Yoakum.
There was no time to move on that.
So I think he made Raphael a little impatient with that shot.
Tyron Reynolds will be next up here for Frankfort High.
We're 2-1 advantage for the Panthers. We'll see what Thomas can pull out to
another
keep
long
the game
run
going.
up here. And
he beats Thomas.
Nice finish there.
3-1 Panthers. We're down to sudden death now for.
Yeah, a miss, and we're finished, right?
That's correct.
Jack Caldwell.
They have to hit these last two and hope that Franklin County misses both of them, or Frankfort High, sorry, excuse me.
Jack's the kicker for the football team. We've
It's
already
amazing
seen
how
2
quiet
extra
it gets.
Yeah, 2 extra points already with Western Hills kicks.
I don't hear any of the cowbells.
No.
He's letting Yoakum push the envelope here.
I think he's allowing him to address the envelope.
And he makes the save.
And it's over.
Saved by Yoakum.
That is full time.
You know, Frankfort came out on top.
We'll follow them in. That is a big play from senior Sam Yoakum, goalkeeper for Frankfort High, and Frankfort High squeaks out another district win. It wasn't, Coach K will tell you, it wasn't pretty, but on the record board, it looks pretty nice.
Nobody bothers to remember what the score was or how you scored or that you went 70 minutes with less a man. And at the end of the day, it's a win for Frankfort, and Western Hills takes the first one on the chin this season.
Well, let's take a real quick break. We'll come back. Brad, I want you thinking about player of the game. I know it's tough in this type of situation, but we'll be right back on the Bluegrass Sports Network.
Running a business takes a lot of focus and dedication. Keeping up with the ever-changing tax laws and keeping up with all the numbers behind your business, while necessary, can cause distraction and even a little anxiety. That's where Charles T. Mitchell, certified public accountants, come in. They've been helping local businesses run smoothly since 1964. They've got the experience and quality you deserve, and they'll put your mind at ease. Taxes, accounting, and assurance services for your business. Charles T. Mitchell, CTMCPA.com.
All right, we're back here on the Bluegrass Sports Network. I'm Bo Craycraft, and I'm joined tonight by Brad Thomas. We just finished up here at Western Hills High School. The Frankfort High Panthers squeak out a 2-1 victory on PKs against Western Hills. It was a wild game. Started off. Frankfort High got an early goal out of Adam Gritton from a ball from Ethan Vermillion. Take a 1-0 lead. Western Hills was quick to counter with a goal from Wade Sutley.
Off a pass from Jack Caldwell. They caught, Frankfort High a little too high, and he got in behind. Then a few minutes later, Wade Sutley collides into the goalkeeper. No fouls called. Something happens, maybe some language is exchanged. We get a straight red on Wade Sutley, and so from that point forward, Western Hills has to play a man down, but they did more than play a man down. Yes.
They created chances and had a good chance to win, but ultimately we go to extra time and finish up with PKs, and Frankfort High gets a final save out of Sam Yoakum. But with that, player of the game.
I think it's always rare when you pick the player of the game that comes from the losing team, but I think it's Lincoln Maddox.
Man, the myth, the Maddox.
He single-handedly kept his team in this game by making run after run to stop the ball in a defensive end. And, we even saw him make the end-to-end run a couple of times to try to get something offensively going for his team. So.
No, you're absolutely correct. I think that's they were under a lot of pressure in the second, but I think their whole back four did well. I even think about Stefan Rudick. He did great. He came in and played a role that he's not used to playing, but he did it well. And so I really feel bad for the Wolverines. They gave it everything. No one likes to lose in PKs, and let's be honest, no one likes to win in PKs. It's not the way that you want to win a soccer game. And so, but we might have been here all night. Yeah. So it's getting cold, too.
As we always say, it's hard to have smack talk after winning by PKs because it comes down to the fact that you had some players that could put it in from the spot and the other team couldn't. And I think that's really the difference.
Well, we thank you for joining us, Brad. It's good to have you back again. I thank you for your support here on the Bluegrass Sports Network. Check us out on Facebook. We'll have some highlights from tonight. Got some highlights from last night's football game as well on deck. Like us on Twitter. If you're a student, I know you guys do the Instagram. You don't do the old Facebook like us old people, so hit us up on Instagram. And we'll be back next week with some volleyball action, hopefully some football action as well. With that, I'm Bo Craycraft.
I'm Brad Thomas.
Good to have you, and good night.